looking at today, guys? Well, it's still today for me. I've filmed several videos today. We are looking at the Steel Will Mini Gekko 1550 in N690CO. This is the first one of the steel will knives that I've had come in that I liked enough I wanted to do a review of it. So, without any further ado, you guys know what to do. If you're watching on headphones, turn down the volume because here comes a little bit of music. Mike here. Just wanted to throw it out there so that future Mike always forgets. If you haven't checked out the merch store, there's a lot of stuff in there. I got sweatshirts, I got t-shirts, I got coffee cups. There's a link in the description. If you want to support the channel, all the sales go to the merch store and providing the stuff, but then I get a portion of the take of it. So like I said, merch store, sweatshirts, t-shirts, coffee cups, they're all really nice. Now, back to future Mike so he can tell you about a knife. Hi guys, so before we get into this, playing in the background is Absolute History. This one is a video about the Vikings. I do like this channel a lot. They have a lot of good documentary history that goes on. They actually have videos where they take you back in time to like what were the worst jobs in the Victorian era, what were the houses like in the Victorian. It's a lot of fun just to watch if you're into history, which I happen to be. So like I was saying, this knife came in from a customer and it came in for sharpening, and it's the first one of the Steel Will knives that I've had come in that I really liked enough to actually do a review. Not that they're bad knives, just a lot of them just don't appeal to me. When this one came in, I was like, I really like this. Unfortunately, I have to tell you, this is a discontinued model, which kind of is frustrating that the ones that seem to be the things that I like always wind up being discontinued by the companies. So this is a really nice knife. I do like it a lot. It's really comfortable. And one of the nice things about it, it is truly, truly ambidextrous because it is a backlock. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and meet up down at the counter. We'll get some specs, we'll get some weight, and we'll get a good close look at this really nice showing from Steel Will. Hi guys, like I said, this is the Steel Will Mini Gekko 1550 done in, as you can see, N690CO. I have only ever had one other knife come in that, and it takes an incredible edge. It seems to be a good all-around steel. Now, I never have carried any of those knives for any period of time to be able to tell you, how well it holds an edge, but it does take a really, really keen, aggressive edge relatively easily. This knife came in with a lot of chips, and I was able to easily rectify a lot of chipping on this knife for the customer. This is a lockback done with my micarta scales. But before we get into it, let's look at some specs. So you are looking at a 3.5-inch spear point blade, like I said, in the N690CO. Overall length on this knife is 7.89 inches, and these scales are done in what looked to me to be olive micarta. They have it listed as green, really attractive. It has picked up a patina. So blade thickness on this, they have listed as 0.14, but we're gonna get the calipers out and take a good quick look at that. So on the calipers, let's take a look at it I'm not doing it in millimeters. I'm sorry, guys. I do freedom units. I do other than freedom units for the weight, but I don't feel like doing it in millimeters. I'm sorry. So you're looking at 0.14, 141, 145-ish. On that, which is what they have. This is a thumb stud knife, and it's run on bronze washers. It is a lockback. Now, one of the cool things about this is the lockback, the entire spine of this knife all the way down is crowned and rounded over really well, and it gives it a very comfortable feel in hand. Even though it is kind of a redacted scale where you can see that lock bar all the way down and the spine of the knife, it's rounded all the way over, and it just gives it a unique feel in hand and a unique look. Blade is done in a satin finish. Steel Will. Gekko 1550, made in Italy. Now, this, like I said, took a really, really keen edge. They have it listed with a weight of 4.76 ounces. So let's go ahead and get the scale right here. Set the scale up and take a look at it in freedom units first. So in ounces, 4 3/4 in grams, 136 grams. Really not a heavy knife. It has some heft to it, but it's not overly heavy. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things I like about it. These scales have been contoured really well, really comfortable. It's fairly thick across the spine. A lot of lockbacks are, because the space that lock bar takes. The locking mechanism on it is nice and smooth, open and close. It has a really good action, even for a lockback. Lockback knives have a tendency to be a little stiffer, depending on the company, but this, no real problems at all. Nicely done pocket clip on this. It does stand up a little bit proud here, but it's thick enough and big enough in my hand that it's not posing an issue. Like I said, those scales are beautiful. Now, I did do a little bit of cutting with this knife. Like I said, it's not mine, so I didn't do much. When I got about halfway done sharpening, I cut a little cardboard to see. It's not super thin behind the edge. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So behind the edge thickness, you're looking at 0.24-ish right behind the edge. Not super thin behind the edge, but also that gives it a good bit of resilience. And if you bring that edge down, it's gonna hold that edge really well. It does thin down nicely with a good edge. And it did cut pretty well. I wish, one of the couple things I would say about it, I wish they had brought this out a little bit further, because you start to see a widening of the sharpening bevel where that material thickens up down into that. But overall, super comfortable. Does have a lanyard hold, reversible pocket clip, and I was saying this knife is truly ambidextrous because the locking mechanism on this, a lot like axis lock, is truly ambidextrous, because regardless of which way you're carrying this, you're able to release that lock, because it's not. So let's take a look. It's not like a Sebenza, or a frame lock, where the lock is only on one side, and it's basically set up for one-handed use or the other. It's not something that is going to be, even if you flip the pocket hook, that you have a hard time with. It is an attractive pocket clip. I do like the way they flushed the screws on this. They're not button head. They're recessed down into that pocket clip and flush. Same with this hardware. The pivot is attractive. It doesn't stand up real hard. No hot spots to speak of on this knife. Nice thumb ramp into the blade that's broader than the handles. Nice thumb ramp with some jimping, and the jimping is not bad at all. It's really, really good jimping. So let's get a couple knives out here and do some size comparisons. Since we already have it out, we'll do the Sebenza first. So the Sebenza here, in comparison, you can see they're not too dissimilar in size. The Sebenza is just a little bit larger. Spyderco Native. This is also the customer's knife. You can see here, Spyderco Native, good bit smaller, and a Benchmade 940 just to throw it in there. So you can kind of see, it's not a small knife. It's not really big either. It's a good size work knife. Pretty comfortable to carry. I had it in and out of pocket a bunch. Pocket clip seems to have just about the right tension for any kind of pocket. It is one of those larger knives as far as like thickness in comparison. Let's look here. You can see it's a good bit thicker of a knife than, say, your 940 or your Sebenza. It's just a thicker overall dimensionally, but it is really, sometimes those bigger knives just are really comfortable, and I do like it. And I love the look of it. It has a really good look because the way the blade is ground with all those facets, and I know the light's not great here. I have not gotten all my lighting figured out for the garage, but you have all these facets and grind surfaces that just give it a really good look, and it comes down to a nice distal taper. I think this would be a knife that you'd probably be able to use for just about any work situation. And the fact is, you've got the nice micarta scales that are going to give you pretty good grip in any situation, even if your hands are wet, even if they get a little oily. Micarta just does pretty good, you know, especially like the canvas micarta like this, where you have that larger base material in there that's a little bit more coarse, and it gives you just a little bit better of a grip. So guys, with that being said, let's go ahead, turn this around, do some final thoughts, and I will see you when we flip this around. Like I said, guys, this knife came in and I was really impressed with it. I thought I'd give it to you as a video. I know we didn't talk about price. I only really found this specific knife on Steel Will's website, and they were listed as $199.99, which really is not that bad. This is a really well done, well-made knife, and it just seems to be something that I would gravitate to. It feels my hand, as I said in the video, it feels my hand pretty well. And it's just it's a good, useful blade shape, and really, I like a lot of things about some of the lockbacks if they're done really well and really smooth, like I said before. So, guys, that's all I got to say about this knife. If you like the videos, please give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. If you want to support the channel, I have various affiliate links down below that take you to websites like Survival Frog, Olight, Ember Shirt Co. I have a merchandise store below. So if you want to support the channel that way, I have all of that. I also have a membership tab down below where you can join on a monthly membership. Premium tier members get exclusive content, sharpening tutorials, and sometimes I do giveaways for those members. I'm actually giving away this month one of my handmade custom kiridashis to the premium tier members, but any of the tier members, they get early access to all the videos, and sometimes I do specific videos for the top 2 tiers. So if you want to support that way, if you can't do that, you just have a video that you just really like, you can also use the applause tab down below. Like Jared and I have been saying, support the channels you love, because none of these channels can do it for free. Guys like me, Birdshot, Neves Knives, Metal Complex, none of this is free. That's why we do the memberships, the Patreons, and things like that. So guys, I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section below, and I will see you in the next video.